Howdy, folks. I'm Brian,
I'm Amber.
and here's some Reddit. First off, I want to start off with a little bit of a gag here. This isn't a real Reddit post. Am I a jerk for constantly playing ads and driving people crazy? Throwaway, but only because I'm famous. I'm a big tech company, and I recently started playing these really cool ads that are super fun. They show people how cool life could be if they just switched over to our service. The cartoons are fresh, the music is jazzy, but for some reason people don't like them? I'm not sure why this is. Am I the jerk for driving people crazy with my ads for a service that they really shouldn't live without? What do you think, Amber? I don't know if anyone has recently been inundated with Google Fi ads. But they're maddening. I don't know. Let me know what you think about Google Fi ads. Please, let me know. Maybe I'm the only one who finds them. Maybe Amber and I are the only ones who find them absolutely the most annoying and obnoxious ads ever. Maybe, just maybe, you haven't been unfortunate enough to hear these ads. Okay, maybe the tune after the first time you watch it, it's like, okay, maybe that's okay. But it's played 8,000 times a day. I unfortunately have that jingle in my sleep at this point in time. Google really needs to lay off the advertisements because their advertising campaign, maybe their goal is here to make it so that you keep listening to their ads until you're like, enough already. I'll switch. I'll do whatever you want. Please just stop playing the ads for me. So yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you folks think. I just wanted to be silly for a minute. So let's move along to a real one. This is part of my intro. Our first real story is titled, "Am I a jerk for helping my friend hide money from his soon-to-be ex-wife?" Really? Did you even need to write a Reddit post about this? It's like, I want to do this unethical thing, but I want to get a sounding board from the internet to find out if what I'm trying to do is really that unethical. Throwaway for obvious reasons. My friend... For obvious reasons, my friend, a 27-year-old male, married his wife, a 27-year-old female, 3 years ago. Unfortunately, neither of them talked finances before the marriage, and neither of them got a prenup. He now makes about $70,000, and she makes about $55,000. However, he bought 15 Bitcoin in 2013 at a pretty good price. He sold 5 of them in 2017 to help buy a house with his then fiance. Fast forward to now, they are divorcing because she found a job with 20% raise and guaranteed promotion within 2 years. But it's several states away. All 3 of us live in the same town in Missouri. The job that his wife wants is in Seattle, and he does not want to quit his job or leave his parents, who are in their 60s, and his mom has stage 2 cancer. Now initially, his wife didn't know about the Bitcoin, as my friend only told me and a few other people. But one of them must have told her, since she wants half of it now, even though she didn't buy it. Yes, I know what community property is. His argument is that since he bought them before the marriage and never mixed the remaining 10 with the marital assets, that she should not have a claim to it and is refusing to split it. Well, one day he invited me, a 25-year-old male, if it matters, to lunch and basically told me that he had a plan that the bee steals nothing. His plan involves spending a good chunk of it on a vacation and a new car. Totally legit, and I see nothing wrong with that. He also wants to put some towards his mother's medical bills. I think that's also fine. Chemo is expensive. But the great part is that he wants to give me part of the remaining Bitcoin cash out until the divorce is final, where I then would give him back 95% and keep the last 5% as a token of thanks. The split would be about 20, 30, 50 respectively. I realized that he would basically be spending half of on vacation, car, and medical bills, and then giving me his wife's half so she cannot get it. He sent me the Bitcoins last night, and I have put them into my newly made portfolio. But my girlfriend, a 22-year-old female, saw the brokerage app and asked me what was up with that, and I explained the situation about holding onto the bitcoins for my friend. She replies that sounds illegal. She's a law student. And it also is a jerk thing to do, and called me a jerk and hasn't spoken to me for nearly a day. Now, between my guilt and what my girlfriend says, I feel conflicted. Am I the jerk? So what do you folks think? Jerk? Not the jerk?
Jerk, but also illegal.
Jerk, but probably illegal. I mean, I don't know the laws in Missouri, but I think Amber was telling me that Missouri isn't a community property state where if you came into a marriage with property, you don't necessarily have to split that property evenly when you get a divorce. So he may not even have needed to do this. So it seems kind of, maybe he should have talked to a lawyer before doing all this instead of coming up with a harebrained scheme that is probably illegal. Like, this is what lawyers are for. This is what divorce lawyers are for. Like, if you want to get a divorce and you haven't gotten a prenup and, you need to talk to a lawyer, they're going to be able to give you legal advice to help make sure that you don't go to federal prison for laundering money. Or whatever this would be classified as. Hiding assets from the IRS. The thing is that Bitcoin is a pretty touchy subject. The government wants people to report it, and the thing is, like, if they find out somehow that you have money, then they're going to come after you for taxes. And depending on how much this is, there is a maximum amount of money that you can give someone without having to pay taxes on it. But if this exceeds that, then you may end up having to pay taxes on it. So a better strategy, well, I don't want to give people ideas. I'm not going to give anyone any ideas. This isn't Brian's bad advice. I'm not going to delve into how can you do this legally. Amber and I were talking earlier, and she's like, I'm really glad you're an ethical person because you can come up with all these ideas basically on how to do things that are devious. So anyhow, take care and good luck. Are you the jerk for wanting to help your friend? Absolutely not. However, you're the jerk for what is an illegal activity and for getting involved in this mess. OP, you're the jerk for what was said above. I would not be surprised if your law student girlfriend leaves you over this. You're the jerk and possibly doing something very illegal. You could be sued, and rightfully so. Hiding assets is also a felony in most places, and if the wife finds out, I would bet that you would end up in a lot of trouble. Our next letter is titled, Am I a jerk for refusing to move to the guest room to get ready for work and not interrupt my husband's sleep? My 30-year-old male husband and I, a 29-year-old female, have been married for 3 months. Honeymoon phase is over, and it was time for me to go back to work. The issue is that my husband stays up late at night. He's unemployed at the moment and was let go at his old job and is bitter about it. Every day I get to hear his words of encouragement, like telling me just to go back to bed because it's not worth it. Been there, done that, etc. And he sleeps in until 10 or 11 in the morning while I have to get up at 8 a.m. and get ready for work. Recently, he's been complaining about me interrupting his sleep in the morning by getting dressed. He says it's annoying and first started asking me to get ready when the lights are off, move quietly, not spray perfumes, etc. I did my best not to disrupt his sleep, but failed. The last straw was days ago when I accidentally dropped my laptop and woke him up. He woke up and very firmly, with his eyes half open, said that he was done with my lack of consideration for him needing sleep and decided that I should just move my stuff to the guest room and start sleeping there so I could get up whenever I needed and get ready for work. I said, "Excuse me?" But that was not an option. He made a face and asked if I enjoyed waking him up so early, knowing that he goes to bed very late. I said 8 isn't so early and maybe he should fix his sleeping habits. He got offended and insisted that I move to the guest room to have more freedom and him a proper rest until he finds a job that requires him to wake up at the same time as me. I said, no, I will not uproot myself so he can sleep in after staying up late. He claimed I was purposely torturing him and punishing him for not working, even though I love and respect and is what's making or breaking the marriage. He said he'd rather me stay with him anyways, but I said he was speaking from an illogical perspective because we basically need money to live. I can't blow kisses at debts, now can I? He said it's not like he asked me to take the couch, but still the guest room has a mattress only and it's too small for my makeup and suits. He insisted that if I love and respect him that I would move into the bedroom, but refused and kept looking upset about it. Am I the jerk? Alright, well, what do you folks think? Jerk, not the jerk?
Not the jerk. Get a new husband.
Amber says get a new husband. I can certainly understand when couples have different sleep schedules. I mean, that's something that you have to work through and kind of find compromises on. And certainly, like, I think one of the troubling and complicating factors here is that they do have a guest room that she could sleep in, but also he's not working, and once she leaves for the day, he could actually go back to sleep if he really wanted to. And a lot of the reasons why he's so tired in the morning is because he's staying up late. And I think that, in relationships, there's a lot of give and take. And his compromise isn't really so much a compromise as it's demanding that that she move to the guest room to get ready. And I mean, again, like, the thing is that I do understand wanting to get an adequate amount of sleep. And I think there are situations in relationships where, one partner or another partner are on different sleep schedules and, it can make things difficult. But I think that, a successful relationship is a relationship where the two can work that problem out.
Why doesn't he sleep in the guest bedroom?
Yeah, I mean, Amber's asking why doesn't he sleep in the guest bedroom? And I mean, that would actually be a compromise in that respect. But he wants to take the bedroom for himself. So I think that maybe a compromise here wouldn't be instead for him to go sleep in the guest bedroom instead, and that she takes this bedroom because it's where all of her stuff is. It's where her suits are, and the other room isn't going to fit all of her stuff. It sounds like that's OP's biggest complaint, is that the guest bedroom isn't going to have room for her makeup or suits, and they don't sound like they're completely opposed to the idea. So I do think that there's some room for compromise here, but I don't necessarily know that it's OP that should be the one that's moving. But I don't know. What do you folks think? Anyhow, take care and good luck. Hard, not the jerk. He's unemployed. He can go right back to sleep as soon as you leave, though 8 a.m. is not early enough to warrant that, in my opinion. Info, is he doing his fair share of housework at the very least? And OP replies, that is another issue that's on. I still do the things that I asked him to do when I get off work, since he complains from feeling exhausted and tired even though he's not making an effort apart from cooking. I'm unemployed, and you know what I do when my employed wife has to work? I get up to make her breakfast and pack her lunch and go back to bed. This guy is just a lazy bum. He's not even doing housework. Alright, our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Making My Daughters Take My Friend's Daughter on Their Trip? I'm a 46-year-old female, and my twin daughters, two 21-year-old females, Tori and Tammy, are both in college, and they are planning to do a 2-week trip in Italy. I'm paying for everything as a birthday gift. My best friend Diane has a daughter, an 18-year-old female, Lori, and she's been worried because Lori has no friends. My daughters and Lori used to be more close when they were little, but grew apart when they became teenagers. Diane asked me if my daughters could try to include Lori in their social lives, so she isn't lonely all the time. I called Tammy about this, and she felt bad about Lori, so she's been talking to her more since. They've invited Lori to her dorm one time and go out with her a few times. I thought that the next step was to invite Lori on the trip to Italy. First, I talked with Diane about it, and she agreed. Of course she'll agree.
Yeah.
She said that Lori has been happier since she started seeing my daughters again. Diane asked that if my daughters would agree that she would pay for Lori to go to Italy with them. But when I talked to them, they were not happy about the idea. They said that Lori is too childish and would prevent them from having more adult fun on Italy. I think that they are being rather selfish and mean. Also ungrateful to me considering that I'm paying for everything. We have been arguing and I more or less said that Lori is going with them, even if they don't want to. Am I the jerk? Alright, what do you folks think? Jerk? Not the jerk?
Jerk.
I think that probably the first people OP should have talked to would have been her daughters. And I think feeling this idea and being like, hey, would you mind bringing Lori along? Lori's been really happy, and I can certainly understand, looking out for the well-being of Lori and wanting her to be a happy individual, but I think that your daughters also are their own people, and they have their own lives and whatnot, and if they feel that Lori is going to be too childish for this trip, then, and it's going to stop them from having as much fun, I mean, I can't necessarily blame them. I think it would be a nice gesture to bring Lori along, especially if Lori doesn't have a whole lot of friends, and a trip to Italy is kind of like a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Well, maybe for most people. Probably if they're going now, I don't know. Maybe it isn't a once-in-a-lifetime trip for them. Another alternative thing is that maybe they could go on another trip and include Lori in it. It sounds like Lori may have a lot of growing up to do. 3 years at that point in time in their lives is a pretty big difference, but I don't also think that it's such a big age gap that it's insurmountable. And in Europe, I mean, they're generally not going to have an issue with, drinking at 18 because most places allow them to drink at 18. So I don't know if that was their concern or not, but yeah. Anyhow, take care and good luck. You're the jerk. Your daughters are grown-up young ladies. You shouldn't be making them play dates for them anymore. They might enjoy Lori's company for dinner and an outing, but they don't want to spend 2 weeks with her. You are giving a gift with strings attached, which is not a nice thing to do. Heck, I have some fantastic friends that I'm close to, but I'm not interested in traveling with them. Our respective personalities wouldn't make us good travel buddies, and that's okay. It doesn't mean that we're not good friends. Alright folks, that's all the time we have for today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, consider giving me a like. And if you didn't, consider giving me a dislike. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye.
Apparently also, the light is so bright now that my face looks like it's melting because of the green screen and stuff like that. So, yeah, if you see glitches in my head, it's not because I'm Brian Bot. I promise you.